20 years. 20 years of Pokemon. From the Game Boy games, to the card games, to the anime. Pokemon has never ceased to make us smile over these past 20 years. It's actually hard to believe that I grew up with such an amazing franchise since I was 8 years old. Wow, I feel old. With all the games, anime, and merchandise spanning across the globe, how did this amazing franchise start? Let's go over the history of Pokemon to start off this series. Anime America proudly presents Pokemon Month. In the beginning, a young boy named Satoshi Tajiri grew up in suburban Tokyo collecting tadpoles and insects for fun, little knowing that he would turn his thrilling hobby into a nationwide phenomenon. With the help of Ken Sugimori and other friends, Tajiri formed Game Freak, and much later, the design studio known as Creatures. When Tajiri discovered the Game Boy and the Game Boy Link cable, it gave him the images of insects traveling along the wires. Tajiri was also heavily influenced by the Ultraman fantasy TV show Ultra 7, in which the protagonist used giant monsters contained within small capsules to help him fight. Together, these two sources gave him the idea for a new game called Capsule Monsters. After several attempts at pitching the idea to the company Nintendo, Tajiri's new friend Shigeru Miyamoto pitched it to the company, and Nintendo began to fund the project, spending 6 years developing the games that would become a worldwide sensation. However, due to trademarking issues, the name Capsule Monsters was changed to Pocket Monsters. The project was so deep in design and programming, Game Freak nearly went bankrupt. 5 of their employees quit, and Tajiri worked many unpaid days just to get his dream project off the ground. On February 27, 1996, the first Pokemon games, Pokemon Red and Green, came to the Nintendo Game Boy system in Japan. Satoshi Tajiri's ultimate dream had finally come to fulfillment, as he could share his childhood passion to everyone of all ages. Anyone could grab the games to catch, train, and trade 151 creatures to become Pokemon Masters. At first, the games were selling pretty well, but once some players discovered Mew in the games, the magazine Koto Koto announced a legendary Pokemon offer to distribute Mew to 20 entrants. The contest received 78,000 entrants, and the sales of the Pokemon games quickly increased. The sudden increase in sales prompted Nintendo to release Pokemon Blue, the follow-up Red and Green, which had better sounds and graphics. The trading card games came right after the Game Boy games and was developed by Media Factory with its own set of rules. The first set of cards were released on October 20th, 1996, containing 102 cards and became amazingly popular. The rise in popularity from the games and cards led to a few manga adaptations, until finally, on April 1st, 1997, the Pokemon anime aired in Japan, starring Pokemon Master in Training Satoshi, after the creator Satoshi Tajiri. The English dub would then name the main character to Ash Ketchum, and this is probably the only name change I kinda like for English dubs. With Pokemon's success in Japan, the anime and games made their way to North American audiences. The anime released in North America on September 7, 1998, and the games Red and Blue were released on September 30th. The game had a slight delay in release due to the localization team attempting to change the designs on some of the Pokemon, thinking their cuteness would never sell. Thankfully, that attempt was denied. From that point onwards, Pokemon became a national phenomenon. The cards were sold everywhere, merchandise was found in Happy Meals, and every kid in America wanted to become Pokemon Masters. To follow the hype, Nintendo began releasing spin-offs for the N64 like Pokemon Stadium and Pokemon Snap. While the anime was releasing into Japan theaters, Mewtwo Strikes Back, a thrilling movie featuring two of the rarest Pokemon, Mew and Mewtwo. The movie released into American theaters on November 10, 1999, and briefly held the record for the highest grossing opening for an animated film. Since the anime was very popular, a new game was released which allowed the players to interact with the anime story called Pokemon Yellow, which was released in Japan September 12, 1998, and October 25, 1999 for North America and Europe. This game was a bit different compared to the other colors since you have a little Pikachu following you around. Best feature ever. From this point onwards, Pokemon kept growing with more games, more anime episodes and movies, and more Pokemon. Even though we started with 151 Pokemon, Ash in the game came across several different Pokemon we had never seen, such as Marill and Togepi. But what about that bird that was from the first episode of Pokemon? Well, that's Ho-Oh, and you could try to catch him in the Pokemon Johto League. Around the same time, the new games Pokemon Gold and Silver were released. As of right now, there are over 25 games excluding the spin-offs, 10 seasons of the anime series, and as of right now, 721 Pokemon. This is a brand that'll never die as long as they continue to expand the Pokemon universe with even more Pokemon for us to catch. Soon, we'll be playing Pokemon Sun and Moon, and even reach for our mobile phones to play Pokemon Go. This beloved franchise has stayed in our hearts for 20 years, and I believe it can keep going with how much we love Pokemon and how many memories we made with them. It's a wonderful world to explore, and that's exactly what we're going to do for Pokemon Month. Throughout the month of May, we'll be going over the series, movies, and we'll even share our own fond memories with this beloved franchise. We plan on making a lot of videos to celebrate these awesome 20 years of Pokemon, so be sure to celebrate with us and stay tuned to Anime America. Want to support the production? Check out our brand new store on Store Envy. For a small price, you can have a one-of-a-kind poster made by yours truly. If you can only give a small amount to help us out, check out our Patreon page. Any amount you wish to give us goes towards our production needs, so anything you can give us helps us a lot. To keep up with the latest in Anime America stuff, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Tumblr. Be sure to like, favorite, and subscribe to Anime America for more awesome reviews and top 10 lists. If you're interested in anything of pop culture, be sure to subscribe to Pop Spectrum. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned to Anime America.